Hello, everyone. Welcome to YzeUp Learn from Her Experience series, which is happening in August in South Africa, which is Women's Month. And well, it's Women's Day in August, but we kind of stretch the celebrations to Women's Month. And actually, we should be stretching the conversations about women throughout the whole year. So today we are going to be speaking to Wanda Baloyi. The point of this platform is to kind of share experiences so that if somebody's going through it, you kind of look at it and go, oh wow, I'm actually going through that. And it's also to kind of learn from each other in terms of coping mechanisms. How are you coping? How's that person coping? And is there something that maybe you can learn from that? So it's not to say we've got the full answers, but it's just kind of say, let's have a few discussions. So the topic for the day is dealing with personal issues that life can actually throw at you. And we say life because sometimes you think everything is going to be going well, or you're having an awesome time, and then all of a sudden things kind of, take a dip, and then you're just kind of like, how did I get here? So our guest today has actually dropped a few gems, and there she is. I'm gonna let her in just now. She's dropped a few gems in the show Life with Kelly Komalo. So she's the wise one. She's known as the wise one. And then, but she's also dropped a couple of bombs, some of the things that she's been dealing with. And I think many women go through some of the things that she's going through. So I'm just waiting for her to join us, and I will let her do the talking. Rules, hey.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
I heard you saying it's the wise one. I'm like, yo, pushing her.
but that's what's been happening. I've been reading Twitter on every time you're on the show and you open your mouth, it would be like, oh, Wanda is so wise, Wanda says that, oh, she's such a wise person, So I'm like, I'm using that word. I'm like, the wise one is here.
Wow.
Thank you for joining us. Where are you joining us from today?
I'm in Maputo.
Oh yay! Oh yay! So I mean, this is part of the conversations we're going to be having today, right? You living these two lives, So I think to begin with, let's start with, I know who you are, but I don't know if everybody knows who you are, So personal life, what do you do? Who is Wanda?
What do I do, or who am I?
Both.
Which one is that? First, I am a daughter. I'm a child of Mozambican parents. My mom, my dad, both Mozambican, from a place called Inhambane.
Okay.
And I'm from a musical family. Mantua says, why are we not greeted in Portuguese? Boa noite, Mantua! Tudo bem? Todos em casa?
For all I know, you've been sworn at us.
No, not that girl. Not that girl. So I'm from a musical family. My father's side is musical.
Okay.
My dad is a musician. My uncle is a musician as well, Theodua, here in Mozambique. I grew up in a very creative family, musical family. I think most of my influences definitely come from my dad. My mom is an entrepreneur. She's a businesswoman. She's a hustler. She's a go-getter. She's a fighter. So she's my biggest inspiration. She is constantly keeping me on my toes in terms of what next to do. She keeps me inspired in terms of thinking out the box on, survival ways and what else can I do, and, keep it moving. Yeah. So, I'm a mix of South African and Mozambican, which I always call myself a cocktail African, because I'm a blend of both beautiful countries and both beautiful cultures. Because I'm mostly grown in South Africa, most of my influences are definitely South African, and but my roots are Mozambican. So for the first time in 40 years, wow, damn, that's long. For the first time in 40 years, I decided to come and actually stay here and feel who I am and reconnect with my people,
Mm-hmm.
reconnect with the rawness of what it is to be a Mozambican, the
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
the weather, the food, the language, everything. So for me, sometimes I walk around and I'm like, wow, it's so refreshing and so surreal to hear a different language, you know? So that in its own, it's like, wow, I'm actually here and my soul feels so fulfilled because even though I may not have known why I made that decision, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'm just guided by how I feel. I felt correct, like it was correct. It was the right thing to do at that moment.
Yeah.
I'm a wanderer. I'm a constant chaser of
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
and belonging. I think I am a citizen of the world. So wherever I feel I connect, I will stay. And the other day, I was just thinking that my parents are the same. They wanderers. My mom is in Europe. My dad's in Cape Town. We migrated here and there. We're constantly moving. I have brother in LA, South Africa, Moses. Like, you know, that's just part of who I am. At first, I felt like it was something wrong with me because why
Yeah.
can't you be like other people and sit down and settle, you know?
Yeah.
But there is no right or wrong way of finding meaning to what living is to you. You
Sure.
know, we
Sure.
all live differently.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure. That's a lot you've unpacked there. And you said you don't know how, but I have to sort of step back a little bit. How did you get to Mozambique? What inspired this move? What was it? Was it like a feeling to say I need to go home for a while? How did you get here?
Well, firstly, I flew here. If you ask me how I got here, first of all, I took a plane,
Are you sure
girl,
you didn't
and
walk
then
there?
no, I didn't walk here. No, no, no. First, I think it's very spiritual. To be very
Yeah.
honest with you, it was a spiritual decision. It was
Okay.
something that was decided before I understood what it was. It was a very deep yearning and a very deep hunger to want to be here
Mm.
without a perfect explanation of why and you know the ABCs of life. No, it
Yeah.
was such a deep urge to want to reconnect.
Oh wow. Oh wow. And do you know how long this journey is going to be, or are you taking it one day at a time? Or are you living in both South Africa and Mozambique? What is happening
Yeah,
there?
I'm both. I'm both. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm both.
Okay.
I think one thing I needed to do is to come and establish a base here
Mm.
so
Mm.
that I can go and come back. Yeah.
Yeah. So you speak about being a wanderer and growing up. What are some, because today is about dealing with challenges and just how you've been dealing with your challenges. How did you
Yeah.
deal with things like friendships if you're moving up and down? Yeah, how did you deal with that? What are your coping mechanisms? Let me ask it like that. Being a child that's actually being moved from one place to another.
Friendships, how?
Yeah. So, as in, what is the longest day you've ever stayed? Because you're saying you're a wanderer. You tend to move from one place to another place. Um, I can only imagine how that would impact your life as a child, right? Because some of us have been in the same space for a while. We've gone to the same schools with certain people for quite some time, or you've gone to varsity with people for quite some time, or you've been working with people for quite some time. You know, people can talk about my best friend from when I was 2 years old when we went,
Oh
to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
pre-primary school
yeah, yeah.
together. Because most people's lives are kind of stable, or if you're moving
True,
from one town to another. But you speak about
true.
being a wanderer. You're talking about crossing different countries and all of that. How
Yeah.
was that for you growing up?
I think as a child, moving up and down, you adapt. Children are easily adaptable, and we don't have a reference of what is stability and what is not stability and what is.
Yeah.
You follow what is presented to you. So for that, it became my normality. It was
Yeah.
normal. It
Yeah.
is only now that I'm older, and funny enough, I had this conversation with my dad the other day, that I listen to a lot of people or friends, and they will say that, oh, I come from this township and Ikaslami, I grew
Mm.
up with on this road, and this auntie knew me since I was 3, and
Mm.
those people have been there since.
Yeah.
I don't have that reference. You understand? I don't have a reference of which auntie knew me since I was 3, and I can still
Yeah.
go back there and she's still there, because we were
Yeah.
constantly moving. We were
Moving.
constantly in motion. And I think that explains a lot of why I'm constantly searching, because I'm searching for home. I'm searching for, where do I belong and where do I stay? You
Yeah.
understand? And in my
Yeah.
searching for home, it makes sense coming back to the source, reconnecting with my ancestors, reconnecting with my people, and the strong urge to also want to have my child, because that for me creates a home. That
Yeah.
is where we say, this is where the journey stops and this is where we build our home.
Oh,
Because
that's
my
beautiful.
parents were constantly searching, and I understand, coming from a black family that is, I don't come from a rich background, so my mom was constantly searching, how do I get the next money, 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 and my dad was trying to get his things sorted. So we grew up in that rhythm. It was that rhythm. And it's not their fault. I don't blame them, because there's no law to how life is supposed to be. There's no law
Yeah.
to parenting. There's no law to many things. We all adapt in this life. But as I'm sitting here as a 41-year-old woman, funny enough, I never knew that I would find myself in a space where I constantly have to search back and track
Yeah.
the steps and be like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what happened. Maybe that explains why this is happening in my life, or why I feel a certain way, or why I think a certain way. And I
Yeah.
think once I've gone through this pool of trying to figure out things, maybe when I come out the other side, I will find home.
Oh wow, that is so beautiful. That is so honest, and I think I've been saying to you, I've been laughing at what's the conversations that are happening on Twitter about you, and I think that's one of the things that always comes out is your authenticity, your honesty, your openness to share, and I think it's so important. There's somebody who says, "I love this conversation," as at first I felt like I was not living because I'm more of a settler. We all have a different way of living, and that's okay. When you say that, apparently
Yeah.
that actually hit home. So yeah, that's pretty cool. There you go, being wise again. Dropping those gems.
Wow.
Okay, so onto something very interesting. So we've touched on the fact that on the series you opened up about finding yourself. And this is the journey you've kind of shared with us now. You know that, as you said, it's a spiritual thing, an urge that's actually taken you there. Then you also had an honest conversation about being ready to conceive, and you kind of touched on that, and that you've been trying to get pregnant for some time. And I think that hit a lot. It hit a lot of people, because I think it's something that some people are going through. I don't want to say everyone is going through.
True.
Can you take us through that journey?
Um, like I said, a lot of things happen in my life at a later stage. Things
Yeah.
start to hit you at a later stage. Um,
Yeah.
one of the situations that I came or found myself in, rather, was when I had my first operation. I had cysts on my ovaries, and I did my operation, and my gynae at the time, well, still the same gynae, told me that my tubes are not the normal size, and
Wow.
that I will have to remove them because we can't unblock them, blah, blah, blah. and he started to introduce the whole conversation of IVF then. So I was in my late 20s at the time. So where I was mentally in terms of having a child, I was not there. So for me, it didn't really hit me that bad. I was like, okay, I guess we'll deal with it when the time comes, right? And I spoke to my mom about it, and she's a very religious and spiritual person, and she's like, we'll pray about it, we'll pray about it. God is a miraculous God. Things are going to happen. So she advised me not to take the tubes out. Okay, fast forward, years come, and I got fibroids. This is now in my late 30s. I get fibroids, and I went for operation, and this time it was a major operation, and they removed 5 fibroids, and I was like, whoa, this is serious. So now everything started hitting me then, because I'm like, whoa. Now I was in a process of wanting to have a baby, and my gynae told me that I had to start the process that year. But before I could start the process, I found out I had to do the operation, and it was such an emotional turmoil, because it's a shock. It's a psychological shock that you have to literally shift your thinking. And when you look around, when life is happening around you, and you're like, but why must mine be so hard? Why must it be so difficult? Because now I have to deal with fibroids. Then after fibroids, I have to deal with the process of IVF, which in itself is not guaranteed, Then there's that whole issue of dysfunctional relationships where you think this is the relationship I'm going to get into this with, and then that messes up. And now you have this whole thing tumbling down on you, and it becomes such a heavy weight to carry. Hence, I say I needed to fully cleanse myself of all the things that I had carried that have hurt me for so long, and then walk into this journey of trying to conceive when I'm in a better stage, because now I had gone through so much, and then there was lockdown, then there was depression, anxiety, and no work. Now it's like, oh my God, what is happening? And I'm living alone. I stay alone. So I think everything hit me so heavy, but to the world, it seemed so perfect, because you put yourself together and you present yourself and you're functioning. Oh, there goes my earring. And you're functioning in a normal world, but people don't know what you're actually going through. So I think because I got so exhausted putting a face and acting like I got this, I just needed an escape. Hence that yearning to find a peaceful space for me to regather myself so that I can face the world again.
Sure. Wow. Okay. I'm looking at the comments. You are talking to me, Wanda. Love you, Wanda. Lots of love you. Ms. Manto says you are Mr. Dr. Phyllis. 41 and looking... Mangosi says 41 and looking sexy like this. Wow, Wanda. I mean, right?
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, sure, you've unpacked a lot there. And I think words like cysts and fibroids and IVF, I know that I only know them from my friends or when it actually happens to somebody. I don't remember ever in my journey as a girl, anybody ever sitting me down and say there's a thing called a cyst, there's a thing called a fibroid, you know what I mean? And these are possibilities, or what IVF is. It's really through these kind of shared experiences, with you sharing your journey, that I think you're opening up the space for many women out there to start having those conversations. Okay, true. And Nono says you're a powerful woman. That she is. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
you're in a space of love here. And to everybody who's joined, by the way, I've got questions, but it's your conversation. There's a lot of you love her here. So if you've got a question for her or a comment for her, she'll obviously try to answer it. Please feel free to continue giving us the comments and yeah, and she'll try to get to it. So okay, we've spoken about the conception journey. We've spoken about you trying to find yourself journey. Then there's a third part to that, and there's a song. You released a song called Umendo, and it was about articulating the trials and tribulations that women are going through in terms of their daily lives and life
Married,
struggles and all
yeah.
of that. Yeah, yeah. What inspired you? Can you unpack the song for us? Married life,
Well,
what is
I
happening?
firstly, I'm a black woman. I grew up in a black family, and what I understand about being black is that there's a whole lot of traditional cultural expectations that
Yeah,
come from being a wife or a woman that
yeah,
is married to a black man, right?
yeah,
So the song speaks about a woman who goes back home to her parents' home after her husband has chased her. He's like, I don't want you anymore. Go
yeah,
back to sender. So there's that whole shame that comes with going back home and having to face the family and having to face the community as a failure, as a
yeah,
failure,
yeah,
not taking into consideration that there are reasons that relationships don't work,
yeah,
and you shouldn't take it as I am a failure. I don't know if it still happens now where women have to take the pain, you know, hang in there. Even if things are not working, you gotta hang in there. If you
mhm,
have to listen to our mothers and our grandmothers' stories, they endured so much pain. That's why they always say women can tolerate. And I always argue it that women can't tolerate. They
yeah,
are forced to tolerate.
yeah,
Don't make it seem like it's something we are born with supernatural powers. No,
yeah,
our circumstances put us in a position where we have to endure so much because we
yeah,
have children, we have a household, we have cultures and expectations to live up to. So we have to carry it. So it comes across like we're born with this strength that we must take any nonsense that comes our way, and that shouldn't
yeah,
be it. That
yeah,
shouldn't be it. So the song basically speaks about that whole saying of how women come across as less of a woman because they were not able to keep the household together or to keep the marriage
marriage,
together or keep
yeah,
keep the man. So it brings me back to this whole myself, the whole issue of not being able to bear children. That is
mhm,
another issue that also makes you feel like you're not woman enough because
yeah,
society will tell you there's something wrong with you. Why can't you fall pregnant? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with
yeah,
you? You know what I mean? So there's
yeah,
all these pressures that we put on ourselves as women because we are somehow made to believe that we should have the answers to everything, and we don't.
yeah,
Sometimes we don't. Like, if I knew I would be in this position, I would have never chosen it. If I had the option to choose, I would have never chosen it. But
yeah,
one thing that I do tell myself is that it is not my fault and it's nobody's fault. If there is
mhm,
anything that puts you in a situation where you're not in control, it is not your fault. It's a
mhm,
space for us to educate people. It's a space for
yeah,
us to open ourselves and become honest with ourselves and
yeah,
free ourselves from that. There's
yeah,
nothing wrong with being brutally honest with who you are and where you are. There's no shame in that. And I think the more we become vocal, the more society learns to normalize things and being open about situations and understanding that we're all different.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I'll keep it to the comments because again, everything you're saying, power. There's just power in your words, man. There's just power in your voice, and I think you're voicing it out there, as you say, because sometimes not everybody has the courage and the strength to share the way you are. Not everybody opens up the way that you are, but I think the fact that you are having these conversations so important. You are a voice to so many that can't say anything. I want to go back to Tsepiso quickly. She says, wow, Wanda, you've unpacked a lot. I have been experiencing abdominal pain for years now, and it really didn't matter until now. I'm in my late 20s, and I'm worried, and I'm even scared to go to see a gynecologist. What do you say to Tsepiso?
I think she should definitely go. And in fact, one thing we should normalize is listening to our bodies, from the beginning, right at the beginning. If you feel something is not normal or something doesn't feel right, especially us as women, nowadays we have to understand that there's so many things that are a trigger to our system, to our reproductive system. It
Yeah.
comes from our foods, the foods we eat, what we drink, our lifestyle habits, things like that. And I mean, even sex, even sex causes so much problems for us down there. So if you feel any slight thing, that's a sign of your body saying help. So I
Yeah.
suggest you should definitely go and check it out. The sooner you know, the better, because you don't want it to grow or become something worse at a later stage. So first thing tomorrow morning, if possible, go and check it out. Go to your gynae, check it out, and keep treating it. And every time you feel anything, please go and check it out. I definitely advise that.
Okay. So there you have it. Go and see a gynae. Don't be scared. Laureate says, "Oh my God, I could listen to Wanda the whole without getting bored. So much wisdom, wisdom and comfort in how she just puts words together, right? It's like she just like strings them all together, and then just the stuff just comes out of her. Have you always been like this? Have you always been open? Have you always been this bubbly person? Have you always been this Wanda that we are experiencing tonight, or is this a new Wanda?"
I think it's a new Wanda. But I've always been a bubbly person. You should know that.
I
I've
know
always
this.
been a happy person. Yes.
What
Um,
she's like, what she's doing is exactly how she is. There is no,
y-
you're gonna be with Wanda and you're just going to have a quiet moment. Not going to happen. It's a lot of laughter, lots of jokes, lots of
yes.
everything.
Yes.
So
Very,
yes,
very, yeah, I'm a very happy person by nature.
yeah, yeah,
But I think this side of me is a little bit different because it comes with age and it comes with experience.
sure.
It comes with a lot of pain. Um,
Mm,
Pain is the biggest teacher of life.
mm,
Like,
mm,
whoo! Like,
mm,
you look at all the things you've gone through and all the people you've lost,
yeah,
everything that has ever pinched your heart is a teacher, is
mm,
there to teach you. And I think from all those stabs and pain that you've heard, you choose. As you heal and you nurture yourself, wisdom
yeah,
remains, and
yeah,
you choose how you then project it to the rest of the world and how you project it to yourself. Because I choose not and never to be bitter by anything that anyone has ever done wrong to me, because
yeah,
that's not what I want to feed to myself. I rather take it and look at it as a lesson. And with that lesson, you then develop these pearls of wisdom where you can speak about your experiences freely,
mm,
comfortably.
Mm.
with no shame because, hey, I wore the t-shirt and everything, like, been there, done that. So you encourage
Yeah.
people never to be ashamed of their scars. And from their
Yeah.
scars, we all learn, and it becomes a guiding
Yeah.
tool for so many other people out there. We learn from people before us. When you listen to all the people before us and the wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Okay. I'm getting a lot of Zianda. Hey Z says, drop those gems, girl.
Hey,
Drop those
Z.
gems. Unotando says, I love you so much, Wanda. Guys, while I'm reading your comments, she's here. I know you're loving her. But if you have any questions, any comments, please drop them. You know, she is a very busy person. So it's awesome that we can actually even have her here. Victor says, I love you, Wanda. No, it's just like exactly. See, so everything you're saying is just kind of like, yes, oh wow, I love that. Very profound from Ano, Wanda. So yeah, as I said, you are representing a voice to many, and you've kind of already dropped the gems on one of the things that I was going to ask you, which is how do you overcome? And I think you've touched on it, like some of the lessons are there, but how do you overcome? I mean, you speak about pain. It's a lot
I
of pain.
think overcoming is not a final destination.
Mm.
Overcoming is a process. We never truly get over things. You know what I mean? We never truly forget. It's just how we choose to look at it,
Yeah.
how we let it, like, triggers are everywhere. Like, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and she's like, oh, I'm so triggered by everything. And every time I hear this, I'm triggered. I want to walk the other way. And I'm like, you cannot keep running away from anything that triggers you
Mm.
forever, because then you'll never leave your house, because the security guard's going to trigger you, your neighbor's going to trigger you, the shop attendant, everything's going to trigger you, and then TV is going to trigger you, and then what we're going to do? You know what I mean? So it's just training your mind to receive the trigger in a different way.
Yeah.
Yes, acknowledge that is a trigger. That is a trigger. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to let the trigger affect us, or are we just going to acknowledge it and keep it moving? Do you understand? So that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying there is no final destination of overcoming. It's just how we choose to look at it. We need to be friends with our triggers in the same way as we need to find comfort in our discomfort. I
Yeah.
don't enjoy waking up at 5 a.m. to go and run and kill myself at the
I was
gym.
about
Like,
to ask
I
about
hate it.
that. Man, she
I
gyms. Okay.
hate it. I hate it, but I've learned to find some kind of comfort and some kind of joy in that discomfort. And that is in the vision of the goal. Where do I want to see myself? I want to see myself there. How do I feel after each exercise? I feel great. So I want to stay there. I want to feel like this. I want to look like this. So those are my motives, motivation. But the process is like, yo, yeah, yeah. But it's a process, babes. There's no final bus stop. We gotta just keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. And trust me, she's trying to convince the rest of us to do her boot camps, and we're just like, nah.
I know. Nah, I gave
Watch
up.
from far.
I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, going back to some of the
Okay.
comments. Nono says, no wonder you look so young. You choose peace and happiness. Oh my gosh, and being wise. Ooh, I think we need to coin something about you and wonder and wiseness here. Okay, if there was such a word as
I
wiseness.
mean, Wonder Wise.
Wonder wise, girl.
Wonder
Wonder
Wise.
wise. Wonder, the wise
Wow.
one.
I never knew. I never knew.
Now you know.
Even my mother will be like, "You sure?" And then, when did you become Madam Speaker? I was never like this.
Well, we are very happy that you have found yourself because, hey, we are loving this wisdom that has come with this age, as you said, of being over 40. Amos says, what a powerful conversation. Ms. Mantra says, Lord, I just realized how much I miss those conversations that
Oh, I
make
love
laugh,
money.
laugh and cry. Okay, there's a question on depression, but let me start with, I just saw one now. Give me a second. Oh, where is it? That was a nice question. Okay, I'll go back to that one. But Ladybug says depression and living alone. How do you cope with that? Also, the loneliness of living alone. How do you deal with that without feeling like you're going crazy? And love your
Uh,
spirit and also your vulnerability.
I'm telling you, being alone is not hard. I mean, it's not easy. Sorry, it's very hard. Um,
Yeah,
it's not hard also, but it's not easy. Let me tell you why. We are humans,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And humans need to engage with each other. That
yeah,
is just how God created us.
yeah.
We need to engage and be around people. Now, if you're constantly alone
Mm,
in your thoughts, in everything alone, you're
mhm.
keeping everything to yourself, that builds up. That builds up. And let me tell you, depression, I never knew I had depression until I was like, whoa, I was overwhelmed by
Yeah,
emotion,
yeah,
overwhelmed by my mind. It's like, I can't get this thing out of my mind. So with depression, I really don't encourage medication, to be honest with you. I don't encourage medication because we become used to it, right? It's like sleeping pills. If you can't sleep, then you always pop a pill, pop a pill, pop a pill. The next thing you struggle to sleep naturally.
yeah,
What I encourage you to be around people. I encourage you to be around people you love, around people that love you, around friends that make you laugh, around people that keep you functioning as a human being, that keep you talking, laughing, all these things that make us human. I
yeah,
encourage that. Even if it means there's this one friend that you call all the time, you got to have somebody to take to
yeah,
offload.
yeah,
Number two, you got to exercise. Let me tell you, I exercise not mainly because of my body, I exercise because of my mind.
sure.
So the exercise helps me relieve a lot of thoughts and stress and stuff. So when I don't exercise, I keep I go back to overthinking, thinking, and you become like a zombie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then it triggers your emotions, then you're depressed,
yeah,
then you're this, then you're that. So because I know I suffer from that, I have no choice but to exercise. Even if it means you take a walk, anything that's going to help you clear your mind,
sure.
that is important. And in fact, I encourage that more than medication. I
Yeah,
definitely encourage the exercising or walking or any physical activity. Sorry
yeah.
about that. Any physical activity,
That's
I
okay.
encourage that more than anything. So that helps with depression and speaking. Because I mean, therapy is about speaking. It's about offloading. It's about taking out all the stuff that you've been keeping inside you. And sometimes you don't even know what causes your depression. You may find that it's things that happened when you were a child. Like I said to you, certain things come knocking at a different stage in your life. And for me, everything, the bus stopped there, bus stop station. Oh, everything when I was 40. Hey, everything, everyone just offloaded at this bus stop. I'm telling you, I'm like, Ibo, I'm at a party. It's happening. They're like, sissy, you are not at the party. You are
Oh
wanted
dear.
at the bus stop. You know what I mean? So you never
Yeah,
know when it happens, or when
yeah,
it happens to you. And I never knew it was going to happen to me at that moment. So everything just
sure.
offloaded on me at that moment. But like I say, overcoming is not a final destination. it is a process.
I love that. I love that. Amo says, I study psychology and the topics around depression or any other psychological illness are not hard enough. Glad we have this platform. Thank you for sharing your lived experiences, Wanda. Absolutely. Um, oh, I, Jos. Can you see these comments? Because they're now in is that Portuguese? I'm not
I
going to
can't see
translate that.
anything. Where did you
Do
see
you
it?
remember? Do
Oh,
you remember
there.
when you there? Can you see it? Do you
Oh,
remember when
Wanda,
you
you
were
want?
trying to learn Sutu and Tswana and then you're like kind of like choking on your own words there? That's how I'm feeling about reading this. Um, go to the
Very.
bottom. There is, I think it's Jos.
Uh, who is it? No. Okay, I'm passing
Jos.
Ziana.
I'm reading it in English. I'm
No,
sorry
no.
for doing this to you. No, no, yeah. Go all the way to the bottom, just before,
I just,
just before Amo.
oh, where's Queen Choco?
Oh yes,
Oh,
that's
wow.
the question. Sorry, I was like, there's a question. I saw
Queen
something.
Choco's around. She's around.
Where
Oh,
is Queen
hola, ¿cómo
Choco?
estás? Is this the one? Hola, Wanda, ¿cómo estás? That's hi, Wanda, how are you? I'm good.
No,
Estou bem,
that one
obrigada.
I figured. And then go, yeah, just go a
Okay,
bit down. It says Wanda, seen me
okay.
something.
Ah, come on. Assim não estás a ver os
Uh-huh.
meus. Hey, it's the same person. She says,
Yes.
or he or she says, os meus comments. Oh, she's like, oh, you're not seeing my comments. Estou a ver, estou aqui. Eu não estava a ver, mas agora estou a ver. Estou bem, obrigada.
Oh wow, look
I'm
at you.
good.
Look at you. So this
I'm
is the
good.
Wanda we don't know. We know Wanda speaking English or trying her funny. I'm trying to learn Sutu, and you know what I mean. So it's so beautiful seeing the dual parts of you. It's
Oh,
really,
my
really cool.
Portuguese is not perfect, but I am much better than I was before.
Yeah, yeah. Go Wanda,
Yeah.
Jackie says you can't stop such an inspirational story. Absolutely. I think, as I said, we are all just so honored that you can just open like this. I think we don't know many people. And I'm going to take people, then I'm going to put another bucket to say we don't know many celebrities because obviously this is, I almost want to say, a risk to some people. You know what I mean? Because you are a celebrity and sharing this kind of information, does it not scare you that people are going to misinterpret it and they're going to say funny things about it? How do you feel about that?
There's nothing more rewarding, more free than being myself and being honest with myself. No one can ever hold me against my truth. You know,
Yeah.
there is no negativity. There is nothing that can ever hold me against my truth because that is my truth. If
Yeah.
it becomes a ridicule to you, that is your opinion, but
Yeah.
it does not strip me from who I am. And
Yeah.
I feel that the weight is so much lighter when you are honest,
Yeah.
when you are yourself. There
Yeah.
is nothing I can pretend to be when I'm just me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So even with my friends, one thing I love Kelly for is she allowed me to be myself, and I was like, friend, I don't know how to be anything else. Like,
Yeah.
if you are going to expect me to go on your show and be, hey, I can't be that. Like, I don't know how to be that. And she's
Yeah.
like, friend, just be yourself. So for me,
Wow.
my truth, my truth is my constant daily reward. And if
Yeah.
anyone feels any other way about it, they need to find fulfillment in their own truth
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's really nothing so pure than being truthful. And I think we need to normalize our children, encourage our children to become honest and comfortable with their truth. Because if you're raising a generation where people are just who they are, what else can anyone hold anybody against?
That's
You
it.
know, and this fear of what is someone going to think won't exist because nobody cares. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Exactly.
This thing of I can't speak about this. Oh, Wanda, how do you speak about this? Because I don't care. You know what I mean? Like how you think about it is really not a sleeping pill or adding to my bank balance. I swear to God, there is nothing more refreshing, more
Yeah,
soul fulfilling than being honest.
yeah,
Be honest.
yeah.
Be honest with yourself. In the
Mm,
same honesty, it transcends into your lifestyle. When people are honest with who they are, they make better decisions.
mm,
Because if I know I'm not able to do this, then I'm honest with myself by not doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or if I
yeah,
can't afford this, then I'm not going to buy it. I'm being honest. You know what I mean? But because we fall into this trap of how
yeah,
society wants us to be and what you must do, now we are sitting in debt, and our depression is not the depression of childhood, it's the depression of adulthood, of making messed up decisions because you want your neighbors to see you do. No, guys, let us just honestly be
yeah,
honest
yeah,
with yourself first,
yeah,
for you. And when you're honest with you, it is then easy to be honest to the world.
yeah. Yeah, gosh, I'm literally laughing, and this is what she does. She takes serious topics, and then you start laughing about it. It's like Miss Mantra says, you know, the crying and the laughing. So Utandega says absolutely. Ladybug is literally killing. I'm assuming it's she herself saying, "I don't care." I love that. Laureate
Oh,
is
no,
like,
I don't. Yeah.
"Preach, Mama." Utandeka says, "One of the realest I've been blessed to come across." Amen. Nono says again, I love that being honest with yourself and knowing your truth is absolutely powerful. And I think she's also saying that own your truth, you know, because
Yeah.
if you own it, and this is what she's doing here, imagine if we all walked around saying, this is my truth and I own it. Nobody, as
That's
she
the
said, would write
generation
about
we
it.
need. We
Yeah,
need
nobody would
that
write about it.
generation.
Nobody would be saying anything about it because she
There
said
will
it.
be
It's
no
out here.
gossip column. Which
There we
gossip?
go.
Ngoba ngina
Next.
ngishilo mina kuqala. I was the first one to say ukuthi akuhambanga kahle. Which one is the gossip? You
There
understand
we
what I'm
go.
saying?
There we go. There we go. No,
Own your truth.
absolutely. Absolutely. Zianda says we need more of the Portuguese. Please feel free to say something nice in Portuguese because me, I don't understand.
Mas, estás a ver? Eu não posso falar português sozinha. Vou ter que conversar com alguém. Estás a perceber? Zianda. Onde é que ela está? Deixa ela falar com ela. Não se conversa sozinha. I can't talk Portuguese alone. I need to talk with someone else. Zianda, fala lá comigo, então.
I'm like literally running away. Zianda, you opened that one on
Fala
your
lá
own. You're on your
comigo.
own.
I know. Where's Zianda? She's the one. Bring me somebody. I will speak to them.
Okay, anyone who can speak some Portuguese, please feel free to, you know, I actually think you can go live with some people, hey? If
Oh
you
yeah,
want to
let's do
go,
that.
if you want to go live with Wanda before she leaves us and want to speak some Portuguese, please just request to be in this video and we go, oh, look at that. Nono says that language. Laureate says adulthood depression. I felt that. Sure, I can say you. I think it's Mom Gom. Also says adulthood depression. So looks like adulthood is causing us a bit of stress based on all the readings that I'm actually, or rather, all the comments that we're going through here. So sure, guys, it's a lot. It's a lot. And Wanda, obviously, you have your own coping mechanisms. You've spoken about speak to somebody, but what happens if you don't have anybody to speak to? What happens if the people around you are the causes of the depression? The people that you think you love.
I know that's not
People,
funny,
they are
but
the
yeah.
stress. They are the
You
stress.
look, I'm like, you're looking at this one next to you, like, well, you are the reason I'm feeling like this. How do I even offload? And then you go
Exactly.
out and you're like, Lueda. So it's
Good.
like that is why we have this is another thing. There's therapy, right?
Yeah.
Which is a more professional a more different kind of option, right?
Yeah.
Then you have a very, very important thing, and this is what we need to exercise as human beings, is the sieving of friends, where you sieve your friends. You need to really select your friends like you're going shopping at Diamond Walk. When you're going shopping at Diamond Walk, you don't just walk and buy by mistake. Do you buy by mistake? And be like, yo, I bought this Louis Vuitton by mistake, Uncle Shop. No, you do not purchase by mistake, because that money is a lot of money. You understand?
Yeah.
So your friends should be like you are walking the Coco Diamond Walk and you are choosing and you are purchasing an item that you like and that you are investing in and that is going to make you look good when you put your outfit. And this is, our friends are our accessories, are our companions, are our perfumes, or they make us look, smell, be good, right?
Amen.
So when you invest in your friends, but you need to sieve and choose, analyze the kind of people you want in your space.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So those are our therapists.
Yeah.
We help each other. In as much as I can talk to you and I talk to my friend, I'm talking to myself as well. We should treasure those. So when you invest in friends, then you are investing in your health. You are investing in your mental health, emotional health, you know. So for me, before going to a therapist, it starts with who is around you first.
Yeah.
Who are the people around you? And if those people are not able to give you that diamond walk feeling, leave them. It's true.
I'm really trying to keep like
I'm telling you.
Leave them. Just leave them.
I'm telling you. Friends are a very big investment.
Because you are so right. My dad growing up, I'm not joking, my father would look at my friends and be like, no, cut. That one is not going to be in your life. And I remember as a child, it was horrible. Like, what do you mean? And I'm listening to you now, and it's the honest truth. Choose your friends carefully. There were those friends you brought home and your parents were just cut.
And let me tell you, the hardest thing about choosing friends is that you find that because I've known Judith since I was 5 years old and we've been to the same crash and wara. Ne? That does not mean they have to be in your life or that they serve the purpose that you need. Sometimes you have to let go of people you love. I'm sorry. Loving someone doesn't mean they are fulfilling the right purpose for you in your life. You can love many things and many people, but not everybody is supposed to be in your life and an investment in your life. That is why when you pick up the phone and you want to talk to a friend about a certain issue, it's not every friend on your phone context you're going to call and talk about the same issue, right? There is specific friends that you will, if not friend, that you will call and say, yo, this is going on and this is whatever. So that's why I'm saying to love is one thing, to invest is another thing. You understand? So, and when you start investing, that's when you start choosing your tribe. Choose, and the choosing of the tribe sometimes ends with just two. It's not numbers, it's not quantity, it's quality. See,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
quality.
Yep.
Diamond
I
walk, babes.
I completely agree with you. I think you can even bucket people. So there are those people that are, as you say, these two are my friends. Okay. We're not saying that you can't be friendly with other people, you
No,
know? So you get some work
no.
colleagues that are nice people as well that you hang around with. You
Yeah,
get some people that are acquaintances, you know, that you actually hang around with. You know, you get different groupings in your life. I think it's about recognizing what each
who
group,
falls
what
where?
purpose they
Exactly.
serve, as you say. Yeah, what purpose do
Absolutely.
they serve in your life? Are they there just to keep you happy at a certain time? Or as you said, if I'm in trouble, who is that person I'm going to call? Or if I'm excited about something, who is that person I'm going to call? So yeah, choose
Exactly.
choose as if you are at the diamond walk way. Wisdom. So
I'm
what
telling
can we
you.
what can we expect from you now? In the next year. Where can we find you? Where can we see? Yeah, Asante is hashtagging diamond walk.
I'm telling you.
You,
Hashtag
if you
diamond
did
walk.
not know diamond walk today from before today, please go for the
Listen,
walk and you'll understand.
Lanet, take a walk down Diamond Walk. You will learn to respect your money next time. You
Absolutely. No,
understand?
it's the truth. We don't even walk in there. So some friends are that like we're like, yeah, I agree with you. That is that's a choice. When you walk in there and you pick it up and you walk out. It's a proper
Yeah, you don't
diamond
go
walk. I
there
like that.
like you are going to China Mall and you are just buying by mistake.
Just
You see,
buying,
you can
buying.
afford to buy by mistake at China Mall and you get home, you're like, I don't like it.
What
You know
happened?
what I mean? This one. You even call, you even call, you even call the neighbor and say, see, I have a dress for you. Oh, I don't like it. Anytime. You see?
Oh, I love that. I
Don't
love
happen
that.
like that in Diamond Walk.
I love
But
that.
yeah,
So
anyway,
yeah. Yeah.
I am, like I said, I'm back and forth, Joburg, Mozambique, but I'll be in Joburg end of September.
Okay.
I'm working on a project, my
Yay.
music. I've
Yay.
been doing a whole lot of research here in terms of my roots and, finding out a bit more about my culture and stuff.
Yeah.
Also working on a little, I don't know if I should say, but I'm working on a documentary,
Oh wow.
um, yeah, about my life. So that's
Yay.
that's in the pipelines. And yeah,
Yay.
and life and healing as I go,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
staying open and optimistic to anything that brings me peace and joy.
Oh man, that is just so deep. Look, I think we're all going to watch your documentary based on all the comments that I am seeing here. It's your vulnerability that we love. It's your wisdom that we love. It's your bubbliness that we love. And I think for me, honestly speaking, from a friend perspective, so disclaimer, I do know her. She is just loving, guys. She is loving. She's a giver. She is, girl, you look good today. And you, what was happening today? But she doesn't just say that, she will fix it. Okay, she's that girl who actually fixes your crown. She will be like, "Oh, let's just make a few things, work together." She really is this open, and I am thankful that you're definitely in my life. You're an absolutely amazing person. I'm praying for all the best of everything. About Diamond Walk, all of must just happen in your life. Okay, can the healing bring Diamond
Amen.
Walk into your life? Mandisa, oh
Amen.
wow, Mandisa Body is actually here. Say thank you, ladies. This is a special conversation. Honestly, so refreshing. Wonder your hard work is
Hey,
shining through your soul.
Mandisa.
Ah, man, goosebumps. And then, oh, Nono says we're looking forward to that documentary. So yeah, please, make it happen. We would like to watch. There's not a lot of
No,
things
you
to watch
you
on
I,
TV.
no, you will be the first one to know because you will be, we work together.
Stop it. Don't hold me to these things in public.
I know. I know.
Oh, Wanda, thank
I
you so
know.
much. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your comments. She is based in Mars. You can follow her on Instagram, on Facebook. Where else are you?
Twitter.
She's also on Twitter. Yeah, so find her, have a conversation with her. She really is this cool. She probably will respond to you. And then, yeah, and if you have any questions further to this, also add in our comment box. We are going to put this live for everybody else to see. If you missed it or you want to watch it again, it will be available immediately after this if you joined us in the end. But thank you so much. I certainly have learned a lot. And based on these comments, we have definitely learned from you. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. Come back.
Yes, you will. You will definitely see me soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wanda.
Bye, guys.
Bye.